Professor Long, can you do the screen sharing? Let me stop the screen sharing. Professor Long, please, from University of Houston.
Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I would really like to thank Professor Luke and Professor Tong and the organizers of this session to allow me to participate in this introductory part of this very special session. It's really my honor. Professor Kai-Fong Lee and I have been colleagues and friends for nearly 40 years. We began our careers about the same time, and our paths have crossed many times. I'd like to briefly talk about how this has happened through some people like Professor William Gordon, organizations like the ECE Department Heads Association, and the IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society, and through some IEEE awards. It's also very interesting, I think, for Professor Lee and I to think back how many times the island of Puerto Rico and the Arecibo Observatory there have been a common thread through much of our interactions. The first connection we really had that I didn't know about until recently was Professor William Gordon. He was a professor at Cornell and one of Professor Lee's mentors as a graduate student there. But then he left Cornell and went to Rice University, where I was a student, and he was one of the people who got me interested in antennas. Professor Gordon was considered the father of the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico and was the person really most responsible for its creation, and a very outstanding man. In 1990, the ECE Department Heads Association met for our annual meeting in San Juan, Puerto Rico. At that time, Professor Lee was the EE Department Chair at the University of Toledo, and I was the chair at the University of Houston. We had some time off from our meetings, and we rented a car and drove together to Arecibo to tour the radio astronomy facility there with its huge reflector antenna, which at that time was the largest antenna in the world. I can't really not talk about what's happened in the last 2 weeks there. I should mention that this incredible resource has gone away in the last 2 weeks. Here's some pictures that show this catastrophic collapse. The loss of this facility to the scientific community will be felt for many years, and unfortunately it's unlikely to ever be replaced. So it's gone forever. The next time our paths crossed was when I was organizing a special session at the Antennas and Propagation Symposium in Puerto Rico in 2016, and I was putting together a very special session on the history of antennas. And this session included 10 international experts who were involved in the early development of particular classes of antennas. I wanted to have someone to talk on microstrip antennas, and I immediately thought of Professor Lee, and he graciously accepted my invitation and gave an excellent review presentation on the development of microstrip patch antennas. And it was already mentioned briefly just now, the last crossover with us really is the IEEE John Krause Award, which Professor Lee won in 2009, and I was fortunate enough to receive in 2014. And I'd also note that 2 others in the program here today are also past winners, Professor Lat Shafai in 2013 and Professor Luke in 2017. So in summary, I would like to first wish you a happy retirement. Juni Tusho Kaulur. And congratulations on a distinguished career, and I wish you all the best. Juni Ifan Fong Shui. Thank you.
Thank you for so long. Your Chinese is excellent.
No, my Chinese is non-existent.
We all can understand, yeah.
I have Chinese grad students who tried to help me. It's very frustrating to them.
Wow. Perfect, actually. It's not that easy to understand. I can also tell you actually in the speakers, we have another Kaohsiung Antenna Award winner, Professor Yu Ping Zhang. He just got the Kaohsiung Antenna Award this year. Yeah.
My apologies. I would not aware who got it this year.
Okay, Kenneth, I pass the duty to you. You can start to chair the session today.